I am live. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another Unite DeFi
And then he's
Roundtable.
gone.
This evening, we've got a lot
Right.
of fantastic projects. Oh, did I disappear?
Yeah,
Am I
you're
back?
like,
You're back now.
thanks for being here. And then he did.
Yeah, you
Okay.
just cut out for a second.
That's hilarious. Well, honestly, I just switched around my router and stuff, so it's a gamble tonight. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Before we get started, if you're watching here at home or you're watching the recording, if you could hit the like or subscribe button, it does help the YouTube algorithm and get the information that we share on these roundtables out to more people, and I think that is important. Um, I am gonna just go ahead and pass it around the room, let everybody do a quick introduction. My name's Chris again, aka Meta Captain. I am the founder of MetaBusdCoin, a VR project. Ray?
Hey guys, I'm Ray, COO for Crypto Positive Token. We are a charity initiative token with utilities based in virtual wellness and NFTs and a lot of other things to come.
Nice.
Awesome.
Hello, I'm Crypto Atlas. I love anime. I'm a level 27 half elf. That's not true. I'm level 28. No, I'm just kidding again. I love talking about different crypto projects, especially love the passive income plays. And I'm very happy to be on this panel once again and to hear from even more new projects.
Awesome. I can't see who's next. Billy.
Hey, I'm Billy from Boda. I might have to move my camera. You've done something different this week. You've made it more like streamlined. I like it. Billy from Boda. We are BUSD reward token, and we've currently got our no slippage swap sort of DEX for aggregator going. We've also got NFTs and other cool stuff coming in the future. So that's my plug for now.
And I'm Generation Crypto. I am a cryptocurrency content creator. So I do all sorts of cryptocurrencies from blue chip down to DeFi. I do a lot of explanations and kind of cover the general news associated with those projects.
He's also only level 24 half elf. So
I bet you don't even play Atlas.
I
bet
don't.
you even
It's
play.
been years. It's been a couple of years since I played D&D.
Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian. Nah, I'm just kidding. I am the CEO of GlowV2, which we are a passive income lottery and charity token. With lots to come.
Yeah.
What up, everybody? I'm Kevin from BUSD Buffet. I will be playing the role of EJ, the team lead from Everreflect NFT ticketing tonight.
Your VR character looks so realistic.
I know. It's good.
It is good. It is really good. I love that hoodie. I should go toss mine on.
I know. I wish I could be Kevin. We do miss you tonight.
We do miss Kevin. There was a scheduling conflict last week. Oh, by the way, since we're talking about the scheduling conflict, shout out to Nobility. They were doing their crypto cup round 1 last week. Cool event, unified DeFi type of thing. Where we were all gaming in like a weird little gaming tournament. I was the very best on the field. I actually took very first top-notch place. They voted me immortal after the tournament was over, and nobody else could ever score as high as the score as I did in that tournament. So, yeah. How about Chris?
Yeah, I'm Chris Esparza. I'm the CEO of Vault Finance, and we're bringing Celis to the world.
Bringing Celis to the world. Interesting. We will be getting into that in just a moment. Now we lost a couple people that were up here. I'm actually not even sure where those people were from, but I think they were probably from Vault Finance. Am I correct?
I think so.
Well, they disappeared, so bye guys. But if you come back, you can come back on. Alrighty.
Where did R go?
Exciting evening that we've got going on. I've been waiting for this moment for a little while now. There's a couple overlaps between these projects, and I think we can get some good conversations going. I'd like to open it up and kind of let Brian give us just like a quick little deeper dive into what exactly Glow is offering and kind of touch base on some of the charity concept or charity stuff that they've had going on.
All right, so yeah, we are a charity we are a charity token. You know, we've given out over $30,000 in charity so far. We've been around for, I guess, coming up on 6 months now, so definitely doing pretty good in that space. We do community selected charities, which, let's see, last month we had I'm gonna mess it up. Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. We had a Christian foundation. I can't remember the first name of it, but we were able to donate over $4,000 to them. They actually built a orphanage for children over in Haiti, and we're actually going to be putting in our donation is going to be putting in solar panels to bring them light, which is going to be pretty amazing. So we get to truly glow their orphanage up. So that's pretty awesome. We've donated to Prevent Child Abuse America. Let's see. I'm trying to remember all of them off the top of my head.
I hope Kimmy's watching you right now.
I know, she's going to kill me. We donated 8,000, I believe it was 8,100 to them. We donated to, wow, I can see their faces. Kika, which is a children's free cancer organization, which was pretty cool. We actually flew people out to go hand deliver the check over in the Netherlands to Kika. And while we were there, we actually contributed toys to a orphanage out there. So that was pretty neat. We've also got to donate to Keith, who was our first actual charity winner. We were able to donate $7,300 to him to go to his cancer treatments. He's stage 4 cancer patient. So that definitely helped him out quite a bit.
So how does this charity fund get fueled?
So it's actually 1% of every transaction, excluding transfer, because we have 0 transfer tax. But every buy and every sell transaction, 1% of the transaction goes to the charity, or goes to the monthly charity pool. So it's actually a pretty cool concept and a great way to help and make passive income while entering in for chances to win one of the 2 lotteries.
Do you have any big announcements coming up, like maybe specifically on a Friday?
We do have some announcements coming out. Definitely have some announcements coming out. I don't know if I can speak on them yet. Shane was supposed to let me know on certain things, which, you know, the time difference right now.
Where is Shane? Isn't he somewhere different?
He's in Singapore right now.
Yeah, what's he doing in Singapore? I'm actually personally just curious about that. I never asked.
He's an aviation mechanic, so he works on big jet engines.
There's a ghost Billy in our chat right now, like, and a real Billy just joined the stage. That's wild.
What the heck? Was this the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie or what?
Well, all right. Well, sorry. I'm going to use that moment to transition. I want to ask Ray from CPTX, Crypto Positive Token. Give me a breakdown, a little bit more formal breakdown than your introduction on what your project is and what you guys have going on.
Yeah, so Crypto Positive originated from a viral hashtag that Mr. Ricky Tiki Timbo sent out at the tail end of January, and we kind of wanted it to be something more than just that. Since I've gotten together with the Rhematic team, we kind of put together the idea of wanting to do something charity focused, and came up with the idea for using that Crypto Positive hashtag as a project to do all of the things we wanted to do. Also utilizing the Rhematic services to kind of test that out and be its guinea pig and put together an entire project. After sending our ideas and our plan to legal, we had to essentially build two companies. So we have our crypto positive token, which is the LLC that's registered here in the States. And then we also have our crypto positive organization, or our incorporation, which is a 501c3 that's also registered in the same state. As far as the token goes, so far we've established ourselves as charity driven, right? So 5% of every transaction goes directly to our charity wallet. We also had a large distribution of our initial tokens go to that charity wallet. And so we're not even 30 days old yet. We've made nearly $23,000 in donations to date. 5,000, it's roughly about 5,100 each, but we sent donations to Action Against Hunger to help them build and sustain their actions there in 50 different countries. We also actually formed a corporate partnership with Action Against Hunger, and we have a few kind of unspoken projects that we're going to be working on with them to kind of grow our exposure in the nonprofit field and also their exposure in the crypto field. We donated to international relief teams directly towards Ukrainian relief, roughly a little over $5,000. We donated to $5,000 to I'm having the same issue Brian had. It was 4 organizations we did in total. They all got an equal piece. But yeah.
You know what though, guys? But for both of you, y'all had a hard time remembering because you've been helping so many people, and you've been, you have so many different avenues where you've been making these donations, and that's a beautiful thing from both of you guys. I think that's really cool to hear. It's great to hear that you guys have that baked in to your ecosystem in a format that is, transparent and community involved. I know with Glow, they lean heavily on having the community vote on what their charity picks are, so to speak, or whatever, like where they're going to send that money. And as well, I know they keep their community involved on actually like participating in the events themselves and trying to kind of get like a boots on the ground level of that an actual involvement, which is just so cool, so great to see. Okay, so next up, I wanted to ask about. I consider there to be a little bit of overlap here between Billy Boda and Chris at Vault Finance. I'm going to let Chris break down his intro for us and what they've got going on, and then I'm going to let Billy ask him some questions.
All right. Well, at Vault Finance, we're not even launched yet. We're only a month public in our Telegram and across our socials. We're looking to launch probably right at the beginning of Q3, right around there. It's kind of a joke. We're not bringing sell lists to the world. It's not a new concept that we've invented or anything, but we've found a method that is going to be able to work for current tokenomics tokens and ones that are going to be projects that are going to be launching in the future. So we're pretty excited about that. That's not just the only thing, though. We have quite a few utilities in the pipeline. Some are secret utilities that we're holding close to the chest, but we operate like a business. We're looking to bring a lot of value to the different crypto connoisseurs out there, and we're pretty excited about it.
Very cool. So whenever we talk about a sell list contract, I've read somewhere, I believe it's just on your website, that you actually iterate that this is not sell less often. This is do not sell against the contract at all, 0. And are we going to be talking about directly through PancakeSwap?
No, there's a couple different there's a couple different methods. There's some out there that can help people be less sell as far as Pancake goes. For current tokenomics projects, obviously where they place their liquidity and where they do business at with the exchange, can limit or give them the opportunity to be 100% sellless. Obviously, as you guys know, if you are listed on multiple exchanges, it's you have to do business, and you're kind of held hostage with that exchange. So there's some methods out there that theories people are trying out to be able to interact with different exchanges and do that. So it's not necessarily a hold you to pancake swap kind of thing, but there's also ways you can integrate into the contract, and of course for current tokenomics projects or even some future ones that might not be something possible for them at the moment, logistically possible. There's some projects that just migrated, some that are in the middle of prepping to migrate. So obviously with us not launched yet, that's not something we can impact through the contract, so to say, without them making some alterations. But as far as our converter goes, they can achieve less cells. They can achieve sellless. It really comes down to each project and how tenacious they are to make that happen.
Okay, but within all that, I think what I heard was private decks, correct?
Right.
What was that?
Private. I think what I heard through all of this was private decks, so like a private liquidity contract.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to give too much away on how the functionality of how we're doing it. Not yet, but there.
Yeah. I don't want any trade secrets or anything like that.
Right.
But that should be a pretty fairly easy question to answer. Like, will you be going through PancakeSwap? No. Okay, not a problem. So another private DEX, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's true. That's fair enough. Yeah. It will not be PancakeSwap.
Perfect. Not a problem. All right. That's it. That explains everything. Yes, Billy, go have at it, Billy.
So I have a question. Hello. Sorry, my computer's been crap today too. Anyway, I've got a lot of issues, so that's why there was 2 ghost Billies before. Right. So what are you gonna do with the gas fees then? So if you're private dexing, you're swapping through, and then you're swapping through BUSD, for example, you still have to do the gas, right?
Yeah.
Without releasing, I guess, trade secrets, like Chris said. But
yeah, you can't get away. You can't get away from the gas fees. There will still be gas fees. There will still be some transaction fee, of course, for providing the service. But as far as the level of gas fees for these tokens and stuff, that's going to be something that's going to be different, because with the projects and the gas fees that come with the tokens, those gas fees are a little bit higher, but they will exist. We can't get around those.
yeah, so that's what's going to be interesting with the selfie feature. And then, so with your vault, because you say you put it through on I'm just reading off your website, so I don't know like the full white paper or anything. So then you store in the vault, and then so 5% of the trading volume is going to be converted, right? So let's say, for example's sake, on every buy you convert, which is normally what happens with most of our tokens, on a buy you also auto convert, so then it reduces the sell pressure. So while you keep buying, you keep converting the BUSD at the same time. I can't see if my hands are in view. So that way it keeps going up, right? So the swap's happening as the buy is going up, so then you're not getting much sell pressure, right? So if you put $20 in, you take $2 out, it's still an $18 buy, and it still goes up. Right, so then you've got that 5% of volume in, and so if you're holding in the vault, right, and then you hit like a moonshot fund kind of thing, and then that's when you're going to inject more of it out of the vault when it hits a certain sort of amount. Is that what that kind of vault system is on your website?
You're referring to unlock the vault?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, volume and the buy, sells, trades, things like that. Part of the tax goes to unlock the vault, and what that is that's essentially a set aside wallet that tax fills up, and we do distribution events with that wallet. From the strategic buyback and burn, we take what's been bought back, we burn it at those events, and we'll also take a portion of that wallet and distribute it based on the the holder's bag size out to to the holders. So it's an event. It's a burn party and a distribution event.
I feel like we just got some trade secrets. No, I'm just joking. No, I'm just joking.
Blowing it out of the water, mate.
No. That is funny. Is just to be clarify, this is a little off the beat. Brian, are you going to wax the beard? Like, or is you shaving the beard? I'm confused.
No, you will be waxing it. There will be no shaving. I don't know why anybody would imply that he could shave that.
He's gonna wax it, rip it off, and then flip it around, and then he could be able to put it back on again.
It is going to be so painful. I am not looking forward to that. So yeah, at $100,000 in donation, me, Shane, and Jared are gonna wax our beards. I believe EJ said he'd join in too.
Whoa,
Hey,
whoa,
Kevin.
whoa. Just because we're trying to highlight you, Brian, and everything that's glorious about Glow and what you're going to be doing for the communities and all these charities. I'm Kevin tonight.
Oh, I got a question for you
Is that
guys.
what it is?
For all of you that have like a decent sized beard, how long have you been growing out your beards?
This took me 40 years.
I don't know if my hair is a hot mess. Let me see. But I just actually cut mine today.
Well, trimmed it. I can still see a beard.
Yeah, but I trim. I keep mine fairly like nice and trimmed nowadays. But I had grown mine out for like 6 months. I've been growing my hair out though since COVID started. It all started with just not getting a haircut for COVID, and then I was like, fuck it. I mean, sorry, no curse words. I just said, forget it, and I just let it grow as long as I can.
Mine grows like weeds, I swear. So I'll shave it or trim it up tonight, and then within the next DeFi space will be twice as long. I mean, this is probably 2 weeks.
All right, so
4 days. 4 days.
Right?
I just gotta say, I'm super excited to live stream this waxing of the beards. I think it's gonna be epic.
Oh no! Oh, it's gonna be painful.
all right, so I did have another question that I want to pass over to EJ, or sorry, Kevin. So I'm pretty sure that you have some announcements to make for Everreflect. Some pretty big announcements. Can you tell us what you guys have got going on this week?
Yeah, so if anybody's been familiar with our project from the beginning, our white paper initially laid out concepts for a charting website, for a Connect website. We ended up creating an NFT platform. This week we actually released an NFT DApp viewer as well. But the big promise has always been, my 20-year career of large-scale event planning was to have a ticketing platform that would accommodate NFT tickets that are on BSC. The white paper had promised it for third quarter of 2022. We will be releasing that in the second quarter. The date will be this Friday, actually, the 20th at noon. We will be going live. We've been beta testing, and we've been actually running some scenarios in the background. Huge shout out, obviously. Most people know that our kind of right-hand man lead, one of the lead devs is named Noodles. And we have another gentleman named Manuel that have just been working their butts off. So that we're going to actually be releasing that on the 20th already. One of the festivals here in Michigan, because that's where I'm based, is the Bay City Rib Fest. It's actually a resurgence of a festival that was a few years ago that they turned it off and are bringing it back with some large scale, not the most massive of concerts, but they'll have some bands there. In the years past, they've done about 20,000 in attendance. So we're actually going to be selling all the tickets. That'll be one of our first on sales this coming Friday. But the cool part about it is we're making that convergence of everybody that's in a crypto space can understand this. And then those people that are just going to buy the everyday $20 concert ticket, they can still sign up. They can still get this. You have the option to be able to receive the NFT ticket, or you can opt out if you don't want it, so that you'll still receive a PDF version with a QR code, so you can attend the event either way. But it's going live. This is the start of kind of the true, I guess, soul of what Everreflect and what the NFT ticketing has been the mission from the beginning. So I'm also going to be out in LA come the end of July, speaking at the NFT Expoverse. I know that some of the guys from Nobility will be there.
Dude, now you're just trying to flex on us. Stop with all that. So let me ask you two questions, bud. So you said that entire festival is going to be ticketed by Everreflect?
Yeah, the entire festival. We initially discussed it with the event directors about potentially just doing, say, a VIP section, which will accommodating their VIP section as well. But we will actually be facilitating every single one of the festival attendees through EverTix, which is our Everreflect ticketing platform. So hopefully, so there's going to be some people that want to come out and see. I think they have like Everclear and like Lit and Warrant and kind of some old school like.
Wait, they have Everclear's playing?
Yeah, Everclear's playing. It's actually the same weekend as that I'll be in LA, but we're pumped about it. I'm on the board of directors for that festival, as I am with many of them. A lot of people don't know that even though I have a 20-year career in event planning, I'm still the marketing director for Michigan Festivals and Event Association. That is still my full-time gig. I had a board meeting with them today. We represent over 500 festivals in this state alone. We're represented on all the international boards. So in September, I'll be in Texas as well for the International Festival Association to take our ticketing platform out there, because the concept's super simple. You can just purchase a ticket just like you would from Eventbrite, Regfox, Ticketmaster. The only difference is that we have the easy capabilities of making sure that you receive an NFT ticket with that as well. Noodles has also worked his butt off these last couple of weeks so that we've actually will be releasing our apps as well. He's already got them on Google Play and iOS and the Apple Store. And that kid he's not even a kid. I shouldn't say that, but we're going to have to go visit him in Ireland, because the dude works harder than any other human that I've ever met. We all work.
Dude, legit. Let's take a trip and hit Meta Arcade and Noodles. Let's hit Leanne.
Oh, right, Scotland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. And that's kind of one of the other aspects of this. Like, all of this wasn't in the game plan. All of this came together because of collaboration, of meeting people through really groups like this, built on solid rapport, but built on solid ethics of these people's just mindsets and their work ethic. We have a great team now, and that's why it's been delivered basically weeks and months ahead of what even our roadmap said. And I'm super blessed. I'm super thankful that, we have the team that we have, and it's just the start. Like, the first, we've said it before, that a percentage of the tax will always go into Everreflect buy and burn. So technically every ticket to some extent will have a percentage that will directly inject BNB into the liquidity pool. This is going to be a million little buys over and over, but then there's never a sell that comes with these, because of the fact that it will just be purchased and burnt for every ticket that's ever. And then we're getting into, as somebody had termed it before, smart NFTs, or the concept of like nesting tokens, nesting other NFTs, nesting potentially QR codes.
I want to be clear about this. I've heard this term now 50,000 times. The first term I had ever heard smart NFTs was on one of these roundtables.
Right.
And to clarify here, I'm not saying that
aren't smart.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that is a term that I don't know if it's a real term. I think you termed it at the time because that's not what they're called.
No, not at all. No, but I keep hearing people more and more often like refer to nesting tokens into an NFT as smart NFTs, and I'm like, all right, I guess you guys are calling them smart NFTs. So whatever you want to call it, we got them.
We got them. We got them.
And then that opens up obviously the another word I don't like, pivot, but to pivot into what we were being able to do with MetaBusd, your VR space, everything as far as.
Is that like a personal thing? Like, why don't you like the word pivot?
I don't know.
Is it the sound?
I think it's because I've lived in the world of associations for so long. So the term pivot gets used way too much in all these associations. And I sent you a screenshot of like my meeting earlier today. Love all these people, but I'm the youngest one. And I have been the youngest one for a number of years. So I think it's like one of those key phrases that they're just like, so today we're going to talk about pivoting, everyone. Everybody get your notes. This is how we pivot. We no longer fax, we email. That's our pivot.
All right.
That's how that stuff
So I got some juicy questions for a couple projects on here, but I want to be fair to all participants. So I'm going to first ask Billy a question. After I get done with Billy, I'm going to go to the two influencers we got here just to give them a chance to ask any of us questions from anything that they've heard us talk about so far. Billy, my question to you is, you have started something that I think is undervalued and hasn't been getting used and utilized by other projects as much as I think it should. You have something, or not? You didn't start it. I'm sorry. Let's give credit where credit's due. Your team, I guess, somebody on your team started this Boda shill school, and y'all are doing some really cool stuff there. Can you give me like a quick little breakdown of how that happened and what's going on there?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. So we have Matt, who's actually part of our team, but we've also got Richard and Freddie, who are long-term holders, and they volunteer as just our moderators, which we've now had to rename as Boda helpers, because some people come in and get people confused and think they're on the team, and then get angry and stuff at them for other issues that they should only be getting angry at team members for, if that's directed. So anyway, so they're our moderators, helpers, but they've come up with this great idea to do a shill school. And it came out about because we've been trying to do this since the beginning in our Discords, in our Telegrams. We've been going on being like, hey, let's get templates out there. Let's get people on there on social media. It costs nothing. All social media is free, right? Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, 4chan, everything's free. And then the guys just went, it's getting stale, like it's getting quiet, the market's a bit sad, all that sort of stuff. And they said, oh, well, can we just create our own little school thing? And I said, yep. I said, go for it. I'm completely hands off too, by the way. So that also that's them running it. And so I don't have any input on who they choose, what they choose to shill. And that's all on them. And within the last couple of weeks, they've just been really taking it on. And it's just really awesome because it's just putting the initiative in their hands, letting them run it. It's a community run thing as well. So then we're getting other projects and other communities in there. So anyone's free to join. The only rule that the guys kind of have in there is that it's only the tokens that are already on Boda Swap that gets mentioned for the shills. So we do daily shilling activities in the Telegram group. And then once a week, we'll do a poll. So there'll be 3 tokens chosen every week. And then community members go in there and they vote for their favorite tokens. Or even if it's not there that, your token you're holding, you can still participate. And then at the end of the Friday, the winning token on the poll is chosen for an all-day shilling event. So what we do, or what they do, I should say, is they go in and they go, all right, guys, here's some templates, here's some things, here's, influencers, Twitter influencers, things like that they are already familiar with. So these guys have been doing stuff for, say, the last 6 to 8 months. So they've kind of got a really good handle on Twitter. They follow all the main influencers, so they've got them on that notify button. So they get a whole list. They get pinged all the time when new tweets come out. So they just share all the tweets and go, here you go, here's what to do. So yeah, that's basically.
And they keep a running tally of what's actually trending in the moment. So they always keep those hot keywords ready on the fly to let everybody who is participating know how to participate in the same trend fashion.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is too, and this is what we did in our own internal Discord as well, is that we try and pick tweets that are sort of within 4 to 5 hours old. You know, you don't want stuff that's days old because then it becomes irrelevant anyway. So these guys will pick up stuff, even stuff that's during the peak hour times, like US times. They'll find tweets that are only, like, I kid you not, like 15 seconds old. Like, they'll be just because they get the notification bell. So they'll just be like sharing stuff straight away. So if you get in the comment section really, really early and stuff too with that sort of thing, and then get heaps of people liking your comments and stuff and all these influencers, it really helps your token to get noticed as well. So that's another cool thing that they're doing. But the shill rate events as well is just bringing everyone together. So this week we've obviously got yourself. So we've got MetaBusd, Yieldzilla, and Diversify. So those 3 are on this week, but it's going to alternate. And like I said, I told the guys just to make it fair, alternate. You know, I'm not going to have any input into it, so it's just completely whatever they pick.
Who's currently winning the poll right now? Do you know?
I think you are. You got a strong community, but there's still another day left, so I don't know. The other guys might catch up.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we'll see. Awesome, man. No.
Glow was I think Glow was on the first poll they did, I think 3 weeks ago or something. Because it's only new too. They've only kicked this up about a month ago. So yeah, I think Glow won I shouldn't say won, because it's a fairness vote kind of thing. It's just so the guys allocate a day, and then yeah, so it's like
you can say one. Glow won that vote. MetaBusdCoin will win this vote. All right, guys. So Atlas or Generation? I'll let you guys fight over the floor. After you guys get done, we're gonna get into some awesome, very awesome topics. I'm super excited. But what do you guys got going on?
He wants to pass it on to me. I guess I want to say that I'm just really excited for this Friday. I think there's going to be a lot of good news coming out that I'm pretty excited for. So I'm going to lead that off to Alice.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this Friday as well. So I have a question actually for both Brian from Glow V2 and for Ray. So for you guys' projects, first off, have either one of you heard of AGDQ? Do you know what this is?
I have not.
AGDQ is the Awesome Games Done Quickly, and it's basically a bunch of speedrunners for different video games. They go on, they do these live streams. They go back to back to back to back. They have scheduled slots for these different individuals, and they raise a lot of money for charity, for Red Cross, for Doctors Without Borders, that kind of a thing. And it's been going on for years, and it's become a very big sort of like a cult classic thing. They do this every single year, even during the pandemic. They've been doing this via live streaming remotely, just tuning in. They have the different people filling in the spots. So using cryptocurrency and using maybe your guys' projects, have you guys kind of thought or had discussions or plans on doing any kind of big events sort of coordinated in this kind of way that utilizes your cryptos for a specific fundraiser type event, like something along those kinds of lines?
We have definitely explored a bunch of different avenues. One of the biggest things that we're working on right now is getting the foundation set up. So that's kind of key right now before we do any of the big events that we have, kind of planned out. So that's definitely our first step.
Yeah, and for us, our 501c3, once it's fully established, will absolutely be looking to do fundraising events in person, virtually, because a lot of the partnerships that we're forging right now with CPTX are going to migrate over to CPO once it's established, right? Because the token, the LLC, is absolutely for profit. We're looking to build utilities that will generate a revenue, that will create the volume for its holders to be rewarded, while also funding a charity wallet that for the first 5 years will fully fund CPO as a nonprofit. Those partnerships will migrate over to CPO. CPO will be our face of charity, the organization that will hold fundraising events, that will hold any type of event, will also be in charge of forming boots on the ground groups, and not just this country, but in every country at some point, to be our eyes and ears to issues that happen across the globe that we can then send funds to and aid those situations. So yeah, no, absolutely. Fundraising events were absolutely part in our thoughts when putting all of this together.
And Ray, so looking at your guys' website, I see that it's a 22% reflection fee. A lot of projects I've kind of noticed progressively, you start to see fees getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But obviously, it's also dictated by where these percentages go. So you got a cumulative of different things. Your 8% for holders, 5% for charity, etc. From a community standpoint, have you been seeing requests from people to see if you can adjust that to make it less? Are people concerned with it? Are people actually enjoying the fact that it's so high? What's kind of been the reaction with it being the 22%?
We haven't heard anybody complain or say anything about it. They know, they see where it goes, what it's going for. We haven't had anybody say anything negative about it. We do have milestones in our white paper built into where our tokenomics will adjust at certain points once we hit certain total supply burned via our automatic buyback and burn feature. We will be changing the tokenomics. So our buyback and burn right now is 4%. It will at eventually go to 1%, then boosting the BUSD up by 2% and our charity wallet by 1%. But as of right now, I can't honestly, if you put me on the stand right now, don't recall a single time somebody's complained that it's been a 22% token. If you take away our charity aspect, we're a 17% token, which is not anything crazy. So our charity aspect is the forefront of what we're looking to do, and that's why it's that high.
And then I just have one last question for Chris. Chris, I was trying to figure out where your website is. What is your website? Is that public?
It's thevaultfinance.com.
Okay, I'll check it out. And then
I
if I
thought
have
you were
more questions,
talking
I'll
to
get
me.
back.
I thought you
Thank
were
you.
asking me, and I was so confused for a moment. I was like, "What? What do you mean, Atlas? Yeah, man." No, my bad. Okay. Okay, cool. So, yeah. Next question. Actually, I mean, I probably should have asked this. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna ask a different question publicly to EJ real quick, and I'm gonna go over here to our private chat just to make sure I can ask this. EJ, can you give me a breakdown actually of how the NFTs in the like vendor line work? Like if I was going to show up to the show or the event, I've already purchased it. So I've purchased it from your website or your app. What happens from there?
So right now, the actual process is with our beta tests that we basically had, for example, with 80s Festival, we had an NFT, went out with a QR code. If you had the NFT in your Trust wallet, you could go up to the gate and you could basically just get it scanned in, similar to if you ended up having a printed out, say, PDF version, or if you had something in, say, your Apple wallet. We're working on some other levels of kind of additional verification, and that's part of what we're releasing with our Everreflect NFT viewer, I guess you could call it, D app. That is an app that'll be on the Apple Store and on Google Play. So when you connect basically through that app, and if you have, as long as you have one of the tickets in your wallet, it'll only show up in that viewer if it's the proper contract. The concept for a lot of festival planners is that they want to get patrons tickets sold easily, but then they also want to be able to check them in easily, correct? So for us, we're going to make sure we're going to accommodate other aspects like the PDFs and the QR codes still. We want to introduce them to the additional security, the NFTs, and also the additional benefits of metadata and things that can come with an NFT to these festival planners. But right now,
Actually, since you mentioned that, before you go any further, I want to say something to anybody who watches this or records it. we've talked a lot to different community members, and there were some community members that were actually like a little bit, they felt a little bit burnt that you released some of the other roadmap items before you'd released Evertakes, and they see it as like like what's the point of having this? And I think it's a lack of knowledge about the overall ecosystem that you're building, the lack of like the fact that building out EverConnect and giving you the ability to see how that infrastructure works and how you might include actual artists and vendor members throughout your different festivals into that ecosystem. Like that, those are necessary things for your overall.
Well, and I can completely understand the methodology that they're thinking. Okay, why would you release these other utilities prior to releasing basically your NFT tickets? If the platform and if you have the NFT tickets done, say a month ago, I'm an event planner, right? So everybody else on here that basically does work for a living and they have their vocation and what they do specifically, typically works in a 1 week or maybe even a 1 month timeline for periods of production. My life for the last 21 years has been around a 12 to 18 month timeline for almost everything I do. So building this roadmap back in November, the strategic plan was to basically produce, say like the NFT viewer, or to get the NFT marketplace, or to get Everchart, or some of the payment processing for BUSD. All of those kinks, I guess you could say, worked out before we released kind of the biggest utility. It had nothing to do with the concept of like, oh, why didn't this come first or why didn't that come second? From our standpoint, it was a methodology of strategic planning that went back to November of we had to do it in this process. If we didn't do it in this strategic order, we wouldn't have failed with all the other things that we tested, because everybody on my team knows. I mean, even before we launched Everreflect, there's 4 different versions of Everreflect on the mainnet. Yeah, you're not going to know what the other 3 are called, but that's because we ended up testing that stuff so much. I've been the same way with the NFT tickets. We needed to build it in that strategic order. Granted, smarter people than me, smarter people than Noodles, like yourself, Chris, maybe you could have done it, straight out of the gate with this is the way it's going to go. And I'm being facetious to you because I love you like a brother. But for us, it literally was a strategic step-by-step plan from the beginning, because logically in my head, I was building this like an event. And if you don't have the fairgrounds booked first, and then you didn't know who your ticket vendors were going to go through, you can't do all that stuff. You can't book the stage and the artist before you know where they're going to go. So it was basically the methodology of obtainable goals set out in a timeline that we knew we could strategically plan and test prior to releasing this utility.
I love it. I love it so much. All right, Chris, I actually didn't even know what your platform was until like shortly before this roundtable. I was like, every time I've looked at Vault and looked at your website and looked at everything that you guys have to offer, my walk away from it was always just like the sell list contract. That's what I focus on because I'm a nerd. But you guys do have other things going on. Can you give me a breakdown on what your platform offerings are?
Yeah, for sure. The Cellus one always seems to catch attention. But we do have some secret utilities coming out. They're going to be some major revenue producers. We're real excited about that. But the 2 we have listed on there, one is Vault Circle, and what we're looking to do with that is obviously all the projects on here. We have a presence in Telegram and Discord, and you're trying to grow a community. You're trying to be able to communicate with your community. You're trying to work across all the socials. And at the same time, I know you guys running projects, your DMs are probably filled 200 a day with random, just random people, shillers. I know until I fixed my privacy settings, I was getting random calls through Telegram and stuff. So, it's one of those things where Vault Circle, what we wanted to do is we wanted to create a platform, a home base, a foundation where projects can have a space, set up shop, customize their area, and then start rallying the troops, start growing their communities, be able to have easy access to socials, because a lot of these platforms we use right now, they're not specifically meant for crypto, and but we make do with what we have, and that's just what we do. Well, we want to create a space where for the projects and for the communities where they can rally, exchange information with the projects. We want to have certain things there where, buy bots, different things that you can implement to make an ease of use in the community for yourselves, and as well. Crack down on the scamming that occurs, the inactive, active, those zombie profiles that you see come across everywhere. We base what we do on, our pillars are transparency, professionalism, and others. And it's a real difficult world in crypto as it is. And when you start adding in these elements and these bad actors and such, it adds a layer of just issues as a project and as a community that you have to deal with. So that's another thing that we're looking to tackle with Vault Circle. So that's what essentially that is. And then we've got Vault Exchange. And the exchange is going to be a marketplace. It's a platform where you can exchange goods and services. Goods is just what it sounds like, people across the world being able to connect and exchange goods. But in the services, there's services for one section, crypto. You have projects that are looking for, freelance developers. They're looking for shillers, marketing agencies. They're looking to do certain campaigns. They're looking for moderators. And usually when we look for these types of things, they just show up in our DMs, and we're trying to just figure out, are these people good, not? Are they trying to rip us off? What's going on? And we're trying to act as a fiduciary on behalf of our projects, and they make it can be very difficult. So we wanted to have a place where projects and what projects need and who those other people are, the marketers, the shillers, and all those people can put together a resume and actually have a meaningful interaction with the projects, and be able to, and rating system and things like that, where you can have a good idea of who you're trying to do business with or what you need and find it. So that's one area of the services. Now, the other area that seems to catch some eyes too is there's going to be something similar to an OnlyFans. It's going to be an over 18 adult section, and so that gets some attention too. Of course, there's certain considerations that come with that, and legal aspects and different things that you have to be on the ball with. But
That's of course what I was leading up to with this questioning was the whole time. All right, so let's get down to basics here. So you guys are planning a OnlyFans clone for crypto.
Pretty much, yeah. There will be that section. We try not to sell that as the big piece of Vault Exchange, but we do think that will be popular.
Can I ask a question?
Please,
Sure.
Please, Atlas, ask anything
All
you
right.
want.
So, Chris from Vault, I'm looking at your Git book here and looking at your website as well for the vaults. You got lots of different stable coins. I know the whole debacle that's going on with Luna, or more specifically with UST, and its decoupling with the dollar. On your Git book, it mentions that you're pledging the mathematical strategies to 1-to-1 USD value of the vaults. If there was any kind of decoupling, and I don't know, I'm not as privy to the coding side of things as many of you guys are on the panel. Is there any potential risk of seeing this also happen to USDT or USDC, DAI, BUSD, HUSD, PAX? Can that happen to any of those where it's now decoupled from the dollar? And if it could happen, do you kind of have a backup strategy to make sure that you can still make sure the people that participate in your vault, they're going to be totally fine?
Yeah, security and making sure things go as planned is of the utmost importance with us. Obviously, you can imagine you can't have something go wrong when you're trying to help sell this transaction. So But as far as some of that, I'm not going to try to say I'm a dev at all. I'm more of a mouthpiece and a pretty face, but I try to understand and know what I'm what we're doing is what we do. But as far as the ease of something like that and decoupling happening, I'm not 100% sure. That's a question I could probably pose to our dev team and see what they have to say, or maybe some of the guys here on this panel might know whether that's a possibility or not.
So would that be an algorithmic pairing or no?
I can answer all of this question, so can Billy. Me or Billy can answer all of this for you. The algorithmic stable is just completely flawed.
That's what I was about to ask, because there's been major issues with those over the years.
And since you saw Luna, we've actually seen about 4 more JPEG. Most of you just don't know what those are. They're just so small that you've never heard of them. But we've had 4 other JPEGs since then. USDT is kind of shady just because of a couple small things. But BUSD really is a good one. Billy, go ahead, please answer. But to be clear, I do believe any of them can DPEG. Absolutely. There's a lot to it on how they get audited and stuff.
Yeah, I always say to people, everything break down when the internet shuts down. So and that's kind of going to end all the world anyway. So crypto runs on the internet. Even if you have it on satellite and stuff, how long is Bitcoin going to run for? How long are the nodes going to run for on satellites? It's not going to be infinite, right? But with the current UST situation is that it was all backed by hedge funds, and I think Blackwater or BlackRock, or I think it's BlackRock and a bunch of hedge funds, which none of them will get punished for, right? But they floated the liquidity for it, and then they decided to pull out. And now there's news coming out now, whether it's fact or not, it's remained to be seen. But now there's news coming out that Do had kind of decided to pull out his Terra or Luna company information documents or something. I don't know, something to do with Korea. So it's all starting to lead to another manipulated ploy. And so this is where you can get in trouble too with any of these stable coins, because it has to be backed by a liquidity provider, right? And they're supposed to be backed 1-to-1. But then what happens when that money dries out? So if they keep minting tokens, but they don't actually have cash, liquidity, and reserve, this is when we essentially rug pull them. They pull the pin. But it's where institutions and corporations get involved, which is what is making crypto more and more dangerous in the sense of being manipulated. Because back in Bitcoin originally started, the philosophy, which most of us know, is that it was started as anti-corporation, anti-corruption, to go against the banks, to go against the current fiat system that's been screwing everyone over for the last 1,000 years or so, right? And now you've got institutions and corporations and people going to venture capitalists who are hedge funds, big corporations, to get loans, to get monies, where they're like, all right, well, you're going to pay us back 200% of what we loan you, for example, whatever, or we'll take 50% of your token supply or 60% of your token supply. So they own majority. And then what do you think is going to happen when you 10x, 100x, 1,000x, right? They're going to go pay, from cash up, pay us back. And so you've taken all of that decentralization, all that financial freedom, and the people power, you've now just turned it into a corrupt fiat system that crypto is supposed to get away from. And USC and other stablecoins, like Chris mentioned, the smaller ones that are plugging out now, that's just another example. We had similar stuff happen in 2018 when a couple of corporates got involved, but it wasn't as big news. So that's another thing too you got to look at as well, especially when doing these sort of vault systems, or whether you want to put in algorithmic measures to say, all right, we're going to make sure a certain percent of volume goes into a vault and it's going to be pegged to BUSD or USTD or whatever. You've also got to be careful of where that money is coming from. And if you're getting corporate backing, if you're getting institutional backing, you got to be careful of, what deals do you make with the devil, right? Because that's ultimately what's going to bring you down too. So you definitely, as a project developer as well, a project owner, that's also something you've got to think about. And I think investors have also got to be very aware of that too, because if you're putting money behind something that, there's no regulation either. There's no regulation to say.
Time for an honest question, real quick, rapid fire around the room. Did you buy Luna last week? Atlas, yes or no?
Yep.
Generation,
I
yes or
bought
no?
it recently.
A very, very small amount.
EJ, yes or no?
Yes.
Chris, Vault.
Nope.
No. Billy.
Nope.
Oh, you liar. Ray. No. Brian.
Yep. Guilty.
Yep, so did I. Sorry, I was just curious. Since we were talking about all this, I was just curious. But, yeah,
I got
thought
I
so.
got 2 more questions. These are actually from the community, if I may ask them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
first question is
Free for all from now on.
first question, with all what is going on in the world, will there be possibilities of tokens or coins in crypto to join hands and become one company, one token?
I
That's a tough one.
personally, it's
Is it
not gonna,
possible? Yeah, but is it likely? No.
correct. Yes, that's the right answer. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. Like,
Okay.
there's a couple companies that I think, like, there's a couple of us that, like, would easily work out agreements, do combined liquidity pools and stuff like that, and form up into a giant conglomerate. But there's always going to be like one or two, three or four that are like, no, my balls are bigger than yours. I'm gonna, I'm gonna keep running the space, and you're never gonna like work around that. Some people just want that independent stuff, like Russia.
And the second question is thoughts on stacks, STX. I don't know what that is. Does anyone know what that is?
Is that by chance Stacked Finance? Is that their ticker?
I'll wait to see what the comments reply is. It's probably going to take a little bit of time because they're watching the stream. But yeah, they just said thoughts on stacks, STX.
The STX Sporting Equipment Company based in Baltimore, Maryland, founded in 1970s. Probably not it, right?
Maybe, you never know, man. I mean,
What
like,
do you guys think of
crypto.
sporting
So,
goods
if
store?
I recall, and I'm just looking this up to refresh my memory, Stacks STX is its own blockchain, I believe, and it had some sort of correlation with Bitcoin.
oh, give me one
Basically, like
second.
stacking
Yeah.
to earn Bitcoin, kind of a thing. But I remember vaguely hearing about this years ago, and I don't.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, they said you stake it and earn Bitcoin as rewards. That's
Yep.
what they just said in my chat.
Oh, do they mean these new ones where it's like you buy a token, but it's mining Bitcoin now? So essentially,
basically, yeah.
Yeah, so essentially what the projects do is they take your money, they throw it in like a
Yeah.
hash miner, and then they're like, ooh, we're mining it for you, when they're actually just coining the shit out of you. But that's just my opinion.
I was gonna say, so that I talk about this openly. I'm very candid about this subject because it's the exact same thing that like you're doing with your, your Seifus and all your other like auto compounding bull malarkeys. It's you're locking value and you're transferring liquidity. That's what you're doing. It's like that simple. You can call it however you want to, wrap whatever bow around it that you want to. You're taking value, you're locking it, and through some mechanism. It might not actually be locked, but the incentive is so high that it's artificially locked because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna make this $1 million in like 6 weeks. Let me just keep it in here. So you've taken that value, you've locked it away, and you've paid investors with that locked in value some way, shape, or form. In some projects, they choose to take that value and transfer it over to like what we're talking about now, mining for Bitcoin to produce more value. It's highly speculative. Like I don't know if it works. I don't know the math behind it all and whether or not it can work. I doubt it. It seems far easier to lock additional value, pay higher rewards, and grow rapidly. It's just like a fancy con. Just to be like 100% like clear cut, candidly how I feel about it. Yeah, it's a fancy con.
Do you guys mind if I kind of put those two last questions kind of together and address it a little bit? That's okay?
Yeah, for sure.
So some people are going to maybe think I'm a fudder for saying this, but it's just the truth. And I think that especially in these bear markets, people need to hear it. Like most industries that kind of disrupt things, like we had the auto industry, we had the .com industry. There's always a kind of massive explosion as this new technology arrives. There's all these companies and products that come out of the woodworks all trying to take kind of a piece of that glory, right? They're all coming out to try to put their corner in the market. And the reality is most are not going to make it, right? Like in the auto industry, when cars first came out, there was hundreds of auto companies that were all trying to build a better car than the other providers. And, you know, if you go look through the history, there's some weird designs that were coming out at the time. And obviously most of them failed. And now you've got like the, you know, less than 10 major auto providers that you can buy a car from now. It's the same with the dot-com bubble. There was hundreds, if not thousands of companies that came out all trying to do these niche things in the dot-com era. And now we're down to like a tenth or less of those companies still exist today. Although those 10 that are still around are very successful and very wealthy. Same with the auto industry. I have a suspicion just from market trends that is going to be the same thing with crypto. And DeFi is kind of becoming that space where everyone's trying to take that corner in the market. And the idea of like a WAGMI, right? Like we're all going to make it together is just, it's historically not true. It's not going to happen. There's going to be projects out there that are going to fail, and there's going to be projects out there that are going to succeed. This is a game of winners and losers. And in order for some people to win, others have to lose. That's just how it works. And so I think that especially in these bear markets, people need to realize that it's not about putting your money in anything and everything that comes about. It's about being smart with your money, seeing what's going to be here in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, and then making smart plays as an investor so that you can write out those projects that are going to make it into the next bull run and make it through the next bear cycle and so on and so forth. And as developers, I think these gentlemen here, I mean, they're all trying to be one of those projects that will be around in 2 to 5 years, right? And I think they all believe that they're going to be there. And otherwise, why would you put your time and effort into this, right? So I think it's great that we hold these spaces to kind of talk about what these products can offer for people and what they can learn in the market so that they can go ahead and make wise decisions with where they're going to spend their time and their money. Because at the end of the day, not everyone's going to make it. There's going to be winners and losers, and we just don't know who that's going to be yet. There'll be people who we obviously feel are leaning towards will probably be the market kind of market trends, and they will be the leaders in the space. But there's people that'll come out of nowhere that you'll say this will never have a chance of success, and out of nowhere they'll be a top contender. So it's a wild space. It's a fastly developing space, and there's going to be winners and losers basically.
You just made a new term, negme. Not everyone's gonna make it.
Not everyone's gonna make it. No, I mean, like he speaks very, very factually, and at the end of the day, not everybody should make it either. There's a lot of projects within the space that they just simply put don't either they don't have the right intentions or they don't have the right know-how to accomplish the goals that they want to accomplish, and they're being dust in the wind kind of deal. It's very, very common in the space. And again, I'd say it's probably, and Billy talks about this all the time, it's probably like 99.9% of projects, if we want to get real, like at the end of the day, that will actually be standing here in a few years down the road. And we joked about it a moment ago, but mergers and acquisitions have started to become more and more common in our space. Projects are getting gobbled up and becoming larger and larger projects through grabbing liquidity pools. And it's cool because it makes whatever is left of that holder base, it kind of makes them whole again in some way, shape, or form. At least they're attached to a moving project again. So it is cool. Sorry, this is supposed to be a free-for-all and I'm talking so much. Come on, guys. Ask each other some questions.
I talked plenty, so everyone else can speak.
Brian, we haven't heard from you in a minute, man. Or Ray or Brian, what do you guys got going on? Tell me something.
Hey, so I will say our SafeMoon partnership billboards rolled out this week, so that was pretty cool.
Wait, what is that?
Our SafeMoon partnership billboards. SafeMoon put out billboards through 7 different states for us. So that was pretty cool. They rolled out. We actually have a competition going on, a giveaway. 10 billion glow to whoever can find them and take pictures of them.
Oh, wait, so you're not giving out the locations? You're literally just saying, here, there's 7 billboards in the United States?
Well, it's actually more than 7 billboards. It's just in 7 different states. Hayden hasn't given me the specific locations of each one yet. I only got these specific locations, 4 of them so far. He's getting me more details on the others. But those
Yeah,
just rolled out.
I emailed Hayden as well, and so he just sent me those locations so I can win the 10 billion.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Is there a limit? Can me and EJ just like travel and collect 10 billion per billboard? Make this a trip?
Hey, first one. So per billboard.
I am in.
I mean, we got them in California, Texas, Colorado, or no, not Colorado, Utah, Nevada, Atlanta, or Georgia, Chicago. I'd have to look at the list. I got close to all of them. But yeah, so that rolled out this week, and then we got a couple more things that are about to roll out. So exciting news to come. We got another giveaway going on. We're having a meme contest right now, where we'll be giving out 100 billion in glow. So that's going to be pretty nice.
So this absolutely has to do with CPTX. I think it's going to have to do with Glow, but I don't want to speak on it for you guys too much. But we were earlier talking about like a gaming tournament, Atlas, and you were like, hey, do you guys plan on doing anything like that? Well, already there's a couple projects that are on stage tonight that are all listed on Meta Arcade, and we're continuing to grow that platform extremely quickly between a lot of different projects and communities. And they do tournaments and giveaways of tokens, BUSD, different NFTs. We can sponsor the tournaments. We can do whatever we want. We can do cross community play. With that, like for instance, CPTX, a portion of like the money that's facilitated through their part of the ecosystem, that's directly given back to charity with their like purchase of it's long and winded and explain. Long story short, not only do the people on the streets earn some money, but you also get to give money to charity just through playing this game. It's really cool. And I can't speak too soon on anybody else who may or may not be getting listed on the same platform soon, but it's very cool. We're doing cross community tournaments, and hopefully in time, it is something that becomes like fairly big and we can start to give away like larger prizes. Right now, my community starting tomorrow, or not my community, anybody's community, anybody out there that wants to play the game will be able to win $500. Or no, they won't. They'll be able to win $10 a day, and a total of $500 is getting given away to everybody. Yeah. But I don't know why. Sorry, Ray. I stole some thunder from you. You were supposed to be answering
All
a
good,
question.
brother.
I do this a lot, guys. I just talk and talk and talk.
All good. No, yeah, we I mean we're really excited for that Meta Arcade partnership there with that. I mean the NFT came out spectacular. It was awesome. The levels awesome. The game's just really fun. It's got a really modern but retro feel to it. It's really cool. But I mean really what's been exciting for us is I mean we formed 7 partnerships in the last week and a half. We've announced on our AMA.
Sorry, I'm laughing at this comment. I know he's joking, but it's just humorous for some.
There's always going to be one smart ass, right? We knew what he meant. We knew what he meant. He meant in Illinois. But no, like we realized early on, man, that that a lot of our success was going to come through the success of other projects and forming those partnerships, right? And Billy knows that. I mean, we've been in communication with Billy for a while. I mean, I think we recorded our episode of the podcast with him before we even announced CPTX and Chris. We recorded Chris's episode for Vault Finance a few days ago, and that was awesome to hear from them. And there's obviously a lot of value that both of us can get from each other, and I'm really excited to be able to talk with EJ at some point because I know there's a lot of value that we could get from his
EJ's mine. He's all mine. Nobody talks to EJ.
Well, that's all right. I'll slip into his DMs later on after you go to bed. but yeah, and on, you know, and with the things that Glow is doing, you know, there's possibilities there, you know. Yeah, you know, yes, we all are creating startup companies that we all are essentially the sperm fighting for the egg. Not all of us are going to make it. However, there is strength in numbers and there's strength in partnerships. And the more you combine the similarities between all of our projects and strengthen our communities within one another, we can essentially have all of the meme tokens or shit tokens on Pink Sale be the ones that fall off, because we know they will. And what's left is the legitimate projects, like people who are building utilities that actually have real world use case, right? I don't see Everreflect going anywhere in the next 5 years, except up, because of their utility. I don't see Billy going anywhere other than up because of their utility. What Chris is offering, what Brian's offering, what we're building and what we're offering. I mean, we're not even 30 days old yet, and we've already fulfilled our mission of giving back and providing to charity. And what we've planned in the background and what we're building, I see the five gentlemen here being the ones, without a shadow of a doubt, that will be here when the dust settles and the next bull run comes. Because we will all have all of our utilities established, flourishing, and setting the precedent of what crypto in the next year to 2 years should be. You know, we all saw the influx in 2018 and what that created. We're all right now creating these infant projects in a cannibalistic market. Just wait until the projects that are growing, that are going to introduce new money, new investors, start to replenish this market with new people. It's going to flourish, and what's going to be left is the people who actually offer an actual service, an actual utility, an actual product, and that's what we're excited about.
I do still hope there's at least an occasional meme. I love my good little meme coins every once in a while. It's nice to just get like a real nice shit coin out there and just really just see it just boom out of nowhere. It just makes me giggle.
I mean,
Um,
it makes for it makes for a good article to read, because one guy became a millionaire because of something that literally had no use. But it's not healthy for what we're trying to build. It's not sustainable,
yeah, I get
because
that. I know.
it's done nothing but breed what we see now. You know, go launch a token and see what happens.
I
You
agree
know,
with Ray to an extent. I mean, this year, 2022, to me, is the building year. This is when you're going to build your project the most. This isn't the bullish year. I mean, it's bear market. Go ahead, build your utilities, build it while the market's down. Go ahead and get everything ready for the bull run. I mean, this is the time to be building.
And to add
absolutely.
on
I
to
mean, if you can build your company now with the community you have and the volume you have now, and you can sustain it and continue to build what you're doing and just chug along, right? That's all we're doing, man. We're all just trying to chug along and just stay alive. If you can stay alive, we're all just going to get to that point where it's just an escalator to the top. And if you're legitimate and if you have something that people want, you're going to be on that ride going up. If you're not and you have no use and you're really just kind of floating around, you're just going to go off to the side. You know,
And
people are going to see through it.
not to detract from like any of our projects, but I think EJ's is the best example of that. Of like of any project that I work with personally and like have for a long time. Like I can't say that enough how bullish I am about like just the common sense, no brainer. He's selling something he already sells. He just happens to be doing it on blockchain now. Like it's just like it's what he already does for a living and has
Well,
for so long.
and thank you for that. Like, it is humbling, and it means a lot, because you are like a mentor, but also like a brother to me. With that being said, I love what Ray just said, because we've said that there's been a couple of questions that have come up on here. What is everybody doing during this like bear market? Everything's kind of getting hit. What are you doing? And our whole team nonstop is work harder. Like, this is actually freedom. Like, most people want to look at it from the standpoint of like, oh, I'm so upset because the BNB liquidity pool's lower or my token price isn't where it should be. Like, okay, fair enough. Now stop talking about that because you already said it. Like, we get it. We all get it. But are you taking the other 23 hours and 59 minutes of the day to just focus? What are your goals? You don't need to make massive goals, but like set a small one. Like Noodles, Manuel, and I, every morning we come up with, okay, well, what's at least the short-term goal that we can accomplish today or maybe by tomorrow, right? Like, we've been working harder. We've put out more in the last 2 months than what we could have even predicted, because this gives us that time. And I say that to all devs, all projects, and not even just in crypto, like in life. Like, when times are tough, when adversity hits, our project isn't seeing the adversity, the whole market is. So take this time, like work on your mindset, get your shit right, and actually just work harder, because that's going to be the only way, like Ray and like Billy and Brian and everybody is talking about, like, that you come on the other side. It's because you basically worked your butt off. Why Everreflect will be here? Yes, the utility, sure. But we're not going away, because we're never, this is why I love working with musicians or people that are still touring on the road, because most people don't always have that mindset of like, I have to work on my craft. I have to play a guitar. I have to play drums hours upon hours before I get a chance to play my first show. And then once I play my first show, it sucks and nobody shows up. So then you go back and you do it again, and it's wash and repeat, wash and repeat. And the people that have been on the road or they've been in entertainment for 5, 10, 20 years, it's because you don't give up. Literally straight up. I had this conversation with the Diamond Wallet guys. It's like, they're still around because they just didn't give up. It's not that they're better. It's not that they're smarter. It's just they're more resilient. They have more of a fight in them, and that's how our team is. That's, you know, all of you guys are that way as well. About it.
I had 2 more. Yeah, I got 2 more questions from the community.
Real quick, shout out to Diamond Wallet, Matt. I'm sorry I keep leaving you on red. I promise you I will take care of listing with Diamond very shortly. Go with your questions, Atlas.
It's technically 3 questions, so I'll kind of do this in reverse from the chat. So the first question is, what do you need to build a blockchain? Why is it so hard? Can somebody answer that?
I can answer that. Primarily, it's not that it's difficult. Blockchain is fairly easy. If you really want to, you could throw a blockchain up in, like, you know, your house. You could throw one up on some virtual servers if you wanted to. Copying the EVM is quick and easy. Takes about 20 hours. You can go ahead and get it synced and have your blockchain up and running. If you wanted to clone it a little bit better and have it like to where it looks like your blockchain and it looks a little bit better, then you could do that in probably like a week. But it gets to be complicated once you go to scale it. You know, how are you going to pay for this blockchain, and how are you going to cover the server costs everywhere around the world? You have to like figure something out there. Billy?
To add on to what Chris was saying, because you've also got to realize that you got to buy servers and distribution servers, not just with one company, with multiple companies. Because if one of those companies goes offline, all your nodes, your entire blockchain goes off. So you've also got to have backups on backups on backups. So
it's like 3, isn't it? Like 3 redundancy,
at
like
least.
Yeah.
But it's not like old school. When Bitcoin started, it was people's computers hosting it. Now Bitcoin's blockchain size is like 366 gig. Like, do you want to install that in your own computer and run your own little node in your house? No. Like, that's why there's servers around the world. But the thing is, with Bitcoin, like, it's had decades to build, and, you know, people are putting servers in like power plants and stuff. But that's just an example of, these days with making your own blockchain, you're forced to have to go to these companies and go to these servers, which, again, like adding to what Chris says, it's easy to code it and throw it up, but then it's all the infrastructure you need, the infrastructure that you've got to pay for, you've got to develop, all that sort of stuff that just like stacks and stacks and stacks, which is, again, why we're all on existing networks, because well, not only is it cheaper, but it's easy to get in there. It's easy to get exposure. It doesn't diminish what we're doing by being on an existing network. If anything, it makes it more secure because we're running on an existing network like the Binance chain that's already got heaps and heaps of servers. It's got heaps of security built into it. It's had like hackathons and bug testing, all that sort of stuff where it's even safer. Because another thing too, right? If you make your own blockchain and it gets hacked, like you just wrecked, so you've got to pay people to bug test that.
Yeah, 100%. And like he just said, so say we do a port of just like the simple EVM for BSC, and we decide to rename everything because we want it to look like Boda chain or something like that. If you miss like one little thing, then all of a sudden your whole system's fried. I mean, because we all work off open repos, so like I didn't code Geth myself. I go and grab Geth, and I throw that on my node, and I don't. So at the end of the day, like building out even the code infrastructure for your blockchain in order to have other people utilize it, build their own nodes, expand on it themselves, make all that information available, just in like the software side, doing that portion of it would take a long time. So you would have to do it all privately yourself and fund that development somehow. So you'd have to have like a team of like 5 devs running quite a bit of time just to get like smart contracts and stuff to work properly.
Okay. The next question that I have from somebody else says, if Bitcoin heads down to $17,000, how will this essentially affect your guys' projects? How will you fare?
Buying it all. Bitcoin is always going to be there. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. But if it drops that low, I'm buying quite a bit of them.
But for your projects, I should say.
I mean, I don't know if it. Of course, it has direct impact on the market. I mean, they all tend to trend off what Bitcoin's doing, and anytime Bitcoin does something, it affects BNB. BNB drops, and next thing you know, all of our token values drop. And then we get to, see how that directly affects the project. I mean, speaking for us, we've done nothing but gain holders through the bear market, but yet our coin still goes down, but it's all directly due to BNB. So
I was gonna say, let me ask you this real quick. Let me break this down for a real simple sum up for everybody. I'm gonna use my token as an example. We launched at a $250,000 market cap. Our market cap today is only $750,000 after reaching an all-time high of $8 million. We went up to about a 28x. We are down right now to a respective 6x. You say 6x, Chris. You just said 250,000 and you're 750,000. You're right, I am. But the BNB that you paid in on my pre-sale compared to how much BNB you get out now is still 6x. BNB has slipped. I don't judge my project by fiat and the value of fiat because I don't like fiat. I'm a DeFi maxi. I judge my project by its native pair, which is BNB, because I'm bullish on BNB. So I think that like my respective value is in BNB, and that's how I operate a lot of my business transactions. Yeah.
Yeah, when we launched at when BNB was at $600 at BNB. So
I was going to add to that. Because remember when BNB was like 620 or something, right? So imagine that too. Like BNB is down under 300, but then wait till the next bull cycle if BNB goes to 1,000. So then on paper, our market caps are going to shoot through the roof, but that's still on paper. But the same thing's going to happen. Like BNB goes up to 1,000, and that's going to push our prices even higher than what we were back when we launched, when BNB was like 600. Like, so that's again, it's the whole money paper factor. Oh, sorry, paper value factor.
100%. Third question, Atlas.
That was the third question because the first one was, what do you need to build a blockchain? And then why is it so hard? That was technically the second one.
So I think that question is really in reference, like from your community, is probably in reference directly to SafeMoon. So I'd like to actually just take a moment to address that because they're probably asking on behalf of like, why isn't SafeMoon's blockchain out yet. A lot of factors, I think, specifically went into that situation. We all know that, like, different developers and different dev teams have been a part of SafeMoon and their foundation or whatever they call it, their LLC, whatever they got going on. That's always going to be like a tremendous factor. And then again, when you have a project that's that large, there becomes like expectations. So like one great thing with like keeping my project is like relatively small as we have, we only have like 4,000 holders. I'm able to control my community like fairly easily, like, and manage their expectations on like what my development path is, how I'm working on things. And I stay very like in touch with my community. So I talk to them daily, constantly, nonstop. When you have millions of holders or even hundreds of thousands or however many you want to say SafeMoon has, that management of expectations is a completely different scale. I mean, so if they were to launch a blockchain, for instance, like I could launch a blockchain that did piddly squat right now, like a small little 5-server little blockchain, doesn't do much, and I'd probably get a lot of hype behind it, and nobody would burn me for not having a fully functioning blockchain yet, because they'd be like, hey, it's Chris and his like relatively small team with their relatively small cap. But if SafeMoon did it, if it wasn't as good as what they're already on, they're going to get burned. So like I would have to expect that the SafeMoon blockchain would take a lot longer than the Chris blockchain. If I was gonna, just be real with everybody, because like they have different expectations than a lot of us do, and I don't give them that credit every time. Whenever I think about SafeMoon or talk about them, you have to put that into like some bit of perspective. They have to manage that expectation on like such a grander scale than all of us have to, and that would be a hard burden. I would carry it very well. Everybody, please buy my token as much as they bought SafeMoons. But that being said, imagine how that would be and how that would feel. It would be restrictive to some degree, I would think.
I completely agree with you 100%. I mean, I know that they're constantly working behind the scenes. I get to talk to their team quite a bit, so I know that there's a lot of things in the works. I know a lot more than, I can say, but, they are busting their ass. I will put that out there. I do know that for a fact.
Are you Gabe? Sorry.
Yeah, are you the Gabe wallet?
Are you the devil wallet?
God.
Sorry, just joking. Anyways, all right, guys, we've been going for an hour and a half now. We do need to kind of wrap this up. It's been a long time. I appreciate all of you guys coming on and giving me your time. I want to pass it around the room real quick. Before I do, I want to remind everybody the like and subscribe button is right there. It's so easy to hit, and whenever you hit it, it makes you feel good about life. So do that for me real quick. A quick shout out for myself to Meta Arcade. They've been doing some great work with so many projects, getting together their levels and their spaceships together for this tournament that we're going to be doing soon. They're just cranking out work nonstop, left and right, and they do not get enough credit in the space. Meta Arcade is a fantastic project. Everybody should take a look at. Pass it around the room. Everybody give your shout outs. Atlas. No, Atlas, you're last. No. You're last, Atlas. Stop. Generation Crypto.
Thank you for having me on today. It's always a pleasure when I'm able to come onto these spaces and be able to talk with all you great developers, and of course Atlas as well. If you guys want to check out my channel, I do cover cryptocurrency. I've been talking a lot about what's going on with Luna. So if you want to get caught up with what's going on with that or any other really big project going on in the DeFi space, feel free to hop over to my channel at Generation Crypto and give me a follow.
Absolutely, and you've actually got some really good videos. I don't get to watch all your videos, obviously. I'm super busy, but I did watch the Zilla interview you did, and that was fantastic, man. You handled yourself perfectly. I love your presence on screen. Honestly, it's great. It's nice. It's relaxing. It's really cool. EJ,
and I love the craftsmanship in the background for your set.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you guys as always. It's always a pleasure just getting to hear and chat with everybody that came in here tonight. if you have any questions, you can visit everreflect.io. As we were saying, coming Friday is our ticketing platform for NFTs. So if you're into crypto, we got you covered. If you like to attend events or you're an event planner, check us out once we release the platform Friday, because we'd like to accommodate anybody that's interested in the space, but also it's for the average everyday person that wants to just buy a ticket and attend an event. And we'll slowly kind of get people into the concept of DeFi, cryptocurrency, and NFTs. And if it's still too confusing, you'll still get a PDF to attend your favorite concert. So thank you for having me and representing Everreflect every week as always. So
I can't say how much I love you, EJ. You're just fantastic. Chris, Vault.
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Chris, for having me on, and guys being on too, and for the questions. I just want to let the community know, people watching, stop by our Telegram or our socials, our website, take a look at our white paper, see what we're all about, what we have going on, what we're bringing to market. We're pretty excited about it, and we have a great, just a really great community. So we do things on a daily basis over there, a lot of fun, interactive things. So come by, check us out, and appreciate the time, guys.
Sorry, I muted myself. Billy.
Well, it's good to be on as always. I didn't swear as much today, so that's good. But yeah, come check us out. Obviously, Boda Token, BodaToken.app. We've got our Boda Swap as well. For any projects, so this includes Chris at Vault Finance, but any projects that want to come on and have a chat with us about our swap, we have also started creating a pre-sale, pre-launch token sort of package, which will have a bit more of a vetting system compared to those who've already launched. But this is a shout out to any project that's interested in that. But also, if you've already launched, come and have a chat. We like to network just like we are with you guys, everyone here today. So we love it. And yes, have a good time. Don't worry if the price goes down, because we'll still be here and I'll send you virtual hugs.
Hey, personal question actually. Have you ever thought about starting audits?
What?
Have you ever thought about have you ever thought about doing audits from Boda Swap?
Us?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've talked to you privately. Can we share this? Talk to you privately about this.
Never mind. No, let's stop. We'll stop.
It's not information yet. No. Yes, we do want to do audits in house. That's part of the plan. Yes, but
okay.
We'll
talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it soon. Sorry, Ray, Crypto Positive.
Hey, thank you so much for having us here. It was a pleasure to finally speak with Generation Crypto, Atlas, you, Chris, and it was nice to meet Brian and EJ. I got the pleasure of meeting Chris from Vault a few days ago. Billy, always a pleasure. I've kind of missed the cursing in this episode, but we'll have to have a call so you can kind of give me some tidbits there. But no, yeah, if you want to check out everything we're doing at CPTX, obviously our website, cryptopositive.net, socials, please, check us out, see what we're doing, see what we're all about. We have some planned donations happening in the coming week that we're trying to finalize and get out there and hopefully hit that 30K mark soon. And yeah, like Billy said, regardless of the market, we're all going to be here working hard to, maintain the life into our projects and our products. And yeah, thank you as always. Oh, real quick. We are part of the Rhematic family. I know there was a comment on if any of these projects here would be considering merging with others. We're actually a subsidiary of the Rhematic family. So we are a Rhematic product, Rhematic tokens. And we do a podcast, and I've had Chris from Vault, I've had Chris MetaCaptain, I've had Billy, and we just hang out with other projects in the space and get to learn more about them, who they are, what they do. So yeah, check that out as well, Rhematicast.
Absolutely, and I'm actually going to be having Mike from Rhematic back on. We had him on before, and when they came on, it was like right after a lot of traveling. I think they had just done a migration literally a day before, so they were up for like 18, 20 hours straight. They were pulling a Billy and just like decided to slide in on the UniteDeFi on like zero sleep. And they didn't get a chance to represent themselves properly. So we will be having them back on here shortly. I'll get that book soon. Brian.
I appreciate you, Chris, and all you guys for having me on. Like always, I love enjoying it. You know, anytime y'all ever want to chat or just hang out, always feel free to hit me up. Everybody, check us out at glowtoken.net. Come to our Twitter, Telegram. Or we actually brought Telegram back, so just putting that out there. And our Discord. So yeah,
That's
check us out.
very strange that you took the active decision to walk backwards into a fiery pit and join Telegram.
You got that right. But that is one of the tough ones. But a lot of the community actually really enjoy Telegram, especially with the the I guess translation ability in there. So they really enjoy that part.
Okay, I guess like that's like one of the very few things that I've ever heard that I would be like, okay, well shit. That's a good point. Okay, like that is a fair point for Telegram. Usually the one that everybody goes with is the games are better in Telegram. Like, yeah, because Telegram uses shit code and you can just like import anything you want to into Telegram instead of having to be good at coding for Discord. Sorry, sucks. Oh well. But
I mean, I definitely prefer Discord over Telegram, but Telegram is back. And there's only one of us, so ignore the other 32 of us,
sorry.
okay?
Congratulations, I should say. I should have just left it at congratulations. Go join Glow's Telegram. And to be fair, I feel bad because I do have a Telegram and a Telegram team. My lead Telegram mod is a great guy, and he hates on me because I hate on Telegram so often. Shout out to Meta Mad Haddock. Thank you for all the Telegram work that you do, bud. And yeah, sorry. Atlas, what you got for us, man?
Joe in my chat says that he can picture you, Meta Captain, puffing on a joint coding a blockchain, first off. And then I'm looking forward to Friday. I'm about 90% sure that I have some information that I could share with you guys that I've been working on for quite a while. And it's been going through a lot of ups and downs and just kind of getting to a point where things have been able to get a little bit more figured out and then some room to be able to grow afterwards. So I think it's a good starting point. I can't wait to share that information with you guys. And then besides that, I have a Twitch channel. If anyone's into retro gaming, I've been doing a lot of that lately. It's just twitch.tv/CryptoAtlas. You're welcome to come and hang out with me and relax there if you'd like. And in order to be number one, you have to be odd.
Atlas, will you? Oh, that's hilarious. Atlas, would you do the Crypto Cup with me?
Sure.
I think the next one might be Fall Guys.
Oh, okay. I haven't won, I think, even one time in Fall Guys of the times that I played, but
but that's fine because I haven't either. So we're at least we're on the same level. And my current partner is MetaBusdCoin, and he will not mind me replacing him. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I'm down.
Anyways, all right, guys. Next week we will have another UniteDeFi Roundtable. I apologize about missing last week's. Next week you will get a lot of good updates about MetaBusdCoin. I didn't talk about myself this evening because we had so many great projects on that I wanted to spend a lot of time focusing on, and we're kind of holding our announcements back for a few reasons. But we do have plenty of huge good things to announce, and if you're in our Discord, you've probably heard and seen a lot of the stuff that's going on. Anyways, thank you all for joining us this evening. Have a good night.